everyone, welcome back to another video where I talk about cartoons for baby children. If this is your first video of mine, I apologize. This is probably the worst video I will ever make because I wrote the script in one night after seeing multiple angsty TikToks about a sad little Hello Kitty cartoon. Now, if you're one of the few sane people on this planet, you're probably like, oh, what are you talking about? Some silly little TikToks about one of the sweetest fictional characters has angst? Yes! Look at one of these!
Mom doesn't have time for us at all anymore. Maybe she doesn't love me anymore.
Y'all are emotionally starved, but I can't say anything because I am too. Anyway, if you aren't familiar with the marketing icon that is Hello Kitty and her television universe, you probably don't know where this is from. Is it a movie? An episode? An ongoing story arc about Kitty's need for maternal validation? Actually, this is a single episode of Hello Kitty and Friends. Not to be confused with The Adventures of Hello Kitty and Friends, or Hello Kitty and Friends Super Cute Adventures, or Hello Kitty and Friends Let's Learn Together. This fictional cat girl has more friends than I will ever have in my lifetime. Hello Kitty and Friends is one of the earliest Hello Kitty cartoon series. It's a set of original video animations that were released in Japan from 1989 to 1994. In English, the series aired on CBS and Toon Disney. Episodes were randomly released in these compilation DVDs with some sort of theming that fits with certain episodes. Although the episode I'm talking about today is in the Holiday Magic set, I guess there wasn't a Hello Kitty and Friends Find a Therapist volume, so Christmas was the next best thing. Hope that's not funny. Oh my god. After a boppin' intro, Kitty and Mimi come home after a long day at school and are greeted by the sound of a baby crying. I would complain about the noise, but frankly, with the type of media I cover, I am very used to this. Mama comes to save the day with a bottle for the baby and explains why it's here in the first place. And no, it's not hers.
You didn't have a new baby, did you?
No, this is Mr. and Mrs. Scott's little girl. They needed some help for a while, so they asked if I'd babysit. Her name is Juliana, and she's going to be staying with us for a few days, okay?
Oh, yippee! Take the baby!
The girls go from enjoying the cute company to questioning their existence.
Were we this small? I suppose everybody is this small when they're little.
Okay. You got me there.
Of course, babies require a lot of attention, and the girls start to feel neglected. The next morning, the girls head to school while Mama is still busy with the baby. But at least she remembered to pack their lunches. Cut to lunchtime, all of their friends are hyping up Mama White's cooking. But when Kitty opens the box...
Ta-da! Huh? Oh? This just can't be... What's in your box? I have the exact same thing!
bread, cheese, and alcohol! I mean soda! While the girls are in shock, their friends just leave. Absolute users! My Melody would never. Later that night, Kitty can't sleep and asks her mother to read a bedtime story. Mama's like, no. The baby needs sleep right now. And Papa agrees, saying Kitty can read to herself. Now I get where Mama's coming from. She's preoccupied with the baby, so she gets a pass. But Papa's sorry self can get in there and read his daughters a bedtime story. Papa White can take some pressure off of Mama, make himself useful, and help his kids. Bandit Healer would never.
Fight! Down! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Knockout!
Finally, we get our first angsty piece of dialogue.
Ever since the baby came, everything is different. Mom doesn't have time for us at all anymore. Maybe she doesn't love me anymore.
From here, we get to see a contrasting scene of how both Kitty and Mimi are handling the situation. I think this is not only a wonderful demonstration of their differences, but a realistic depiction of how siblings might act when a new baby is brought home. You can't always guess how a child will react when something changes in their environment, so I'm happy Hello Kitty and Friends shows two different possibilities. Mimi is somewhat self-sufficient, getting dressed, remembering to take her umbrella on a rainy day, but she also depends on her mother for lunches. Kitty, on the other hand, is a lot less mature. She relies on her mother for most things, and struggles with no longer being the center of her mother's attention. Some might see this as selfish or inconsiderate, but Kitty is a child. She's not trying to inconvenience her mother, and she understands that babies need more attention than someone her age, which I'm guessing she's anywhere from 6 to 8 years old, but regardless, she misses her mom. This internal struggle hits its climax when it begins to rain and Kitty realizes no one is coming to get her.
Kitty waited and waited at school all alone.
Loser, loser.
And pretty soon she realized her mom wasn't going to show up after all.
She didn't come. She didn't come. She just left me here with all this rain. She doesn't love me.
I'm so sad. Leave me alone.
I won't go home then. She doesn't want me anymore.
Kitty runs away, crying in the rain. Mama checks with Mimi to see why Kitty hasn't come home yet, and she finds the umbrella that Kitty forgot. Meanwhile, Kitty takes a train to her grandma's house and oh my gosh, it's the meme! I use this as a reaction image all the time! I didn't know it was from this! I need a minute. Cut to commercial.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? Oh, good. I just wanted to say hello, Kitty.
Oh.
And hello to Peckle, and Picacho, and Karopi, too. Every day on Toon Disney, you can say hello, too, when you tune into Toon Disney for Hello Kitty and Friends. It's a whole half hour full of enjoyable sweets, treasures, and friends. So come on over to Toon Disney and say hello to Hello Kitty and Friends. Every day, only on Toon Disney.
Best friends are all about sharing, goofing, twirling, and having tons of fun. You can get a new friend at McDonald's. There's a Winter Wonderful Hello Kitty toy in your Happy Meal.
Everything just perfect. Hello Kitty and Friends is back on Toon Disney.
As Kitty rides alone, she envies a little boy with his mom, remembering what she no longer has. Soon, Kitty makes it to her grandparents' house, and she's welcomed in. As she drives off, Grandma informs Mama where Kitty is, and questions what caused her granddaughter to make such a big journey by herself. And there's another meme! Kitty tells her grandparents about everything, and they try to explain to her that Mama never meant to make her feel alone. But babies are a handful. They require a lot more attention than Kitty truly understands. Back at the parents' house, Mama feels guilty and Papa tries to console her, saying they didn't know how Kitty was feeling. Let's rewind to the bedtime story. I assume Papa works. However, he could have easily spent time with his daughters instead of hovering over his wife while she did all the work. Mama, while not perfect, has an excuse. Papa, however, needs to parent. Being the breadwinner, while admirable, is not enough when raising a child. You need to be there emotionally as much as you can. Kitty was clearly not happy with the situation. Meanwhile, the grandparents take this time to bond with Kitty as they look through old photos. We not only see baby pictures of Kitty and Mimi, but we learn about their parents' younger days. It's really sweet. The next day, Kitty returns home and is lovingly greeted by her family. This is so cute! How in the world could anyone make angsty edits from this sweet little cartoon?
You have mother issues!
Yay! I have mother issues!
No, that's bad.
Aw, I have mother issues.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious where this was going, but I can't really make fun of anyone for this. Everyone deserves a good mom, but some kids don't get one, and that's heartbreaking. This episode probably hits more if you're an older sibling, or have a sibling that requires more attention than you for one reason or another, or you've never really connected with your parents from a young age, and grew up with doubts that they ever loved you. There's a lot of ways this episode could connect with viewers, and that's a powerful thing. Mama Loves Me After All does a great job at showing how some kids react differently to big changes like a new baby. You could tell both girls were hurt by their mother's attention shifting elsewhere, but Mimi had enough emotional maturity to be independent where she could. Kitty, meanwhile, is more careless and slowly realizes how much her mother truly does for her. This doesn't make either of the girls good or bad. They're little kids, and this is a realistic representation of how children might behave in this situation. Some kids are naturally more independent than others. Some need more time to adjust to changes than others. Some need extra encouragement from a third party to process their emotions and learn how to live happily with a new situation. I don't think people truly realize how important early childhood development is. Yes, it's important to teach your kids the basics of how to walk, talk, read, and write, but it's just as, if not more important, to cater to your child's emotional needs.
Are you okay, Bingo? She's sad because she thinks she ruined your day.
It will take more than that to ruin my day, Bingo.
I ruin everything.
These things happen, honey. I'll tell you what I do. Bluey, checklist.
Oh, okay.
I have a little cry.
Check,
Then I pick myself up,
check,
dust myself off,
check.
and keep going.
This is a very difficult job, as every child is different. But if you set a solid foundation for helping your kids understand their feelings, it'll be easier for the child and the parent to communicate when these big life changes happen. That way, instead of running away like Kitty did, the child can explain how they're feeling, and both parent and child can come up with a solution that creates a happier home. Cartoons like this are perfect for starting that conversation, because I assume it's a tough one to have. While I'm nowhere near qualified to be a parent, I was a child once. I remember points in my life where I acted like Kitty, but more so like Mimi, often accepting that things wouldn't change immediately, and finding my own way to cope with that without bothering mom or dad. This mindset is one of the reasons why I started making videos. I knew I couldn't change where I lived or how I was treated at school. But I also knew I could take a chance on the internet and find others who feel just like me. However, children like Mimi could also end up hurting themselves with this mindset, not voicing their needs because they don't want to burden their already busy parents. There's a fine line between being self-sufficient and starving yourself of your emotional needs. If Hello Kitty ever wanted to make a series for older children, Mimi is the perfect character for that discussion. Mom Loves Me After All could lead to a lot of great discussions involving parenting, growing up, or healing your inner child. You can watch the episode yourself on YouTube if you're interested. Again, I am not an expert on child development. I have no younger siblings, I am not qualified to be a parent, and I took like 1 semester of psychology, so I'd love to read some comments from those of you who have experience with younger siblings, or your own children if you have them. Thanks for watching! I have a lot of fun making these shorter videos as they aren't as stressful. I have more big and small projects for you all to look forward to, so please subscribe. If you want more content from me, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I post lots of cute stuff. Lastly, troop on Hopelets, stay adorkable. Bye!